February 1971. Lumpinee Stadium, Bangkok. An undefeated Muay Thai champion, 70 wins without a single loss, is about to choose a volunteer from the crowd. 3,000 people are watching. She points to a small, quiet man sitting near the back. The crowd laughs. He looks like nothing more than a tourist who wandered into the wrong building. Then he climbs into the ring. He picks up the microphone. He says 4 words. "My name is Bruce Lee." What happened in the next 90 seconds silenced the entire stadium. Because that night, Bruce Lee didn't come to fight. He came to show what real mastery looks like. It began, as all great nights in Bangkok begin, at Lumpinee, the most sacred ring in Thailand. Wooden bleachers groan under the weight of 3,000 bodies. This is the main event. The fight everyone came to see. In the VIP section, Thai royalty sits on red silk cushions trimmed in gold, set apart by a respectful distance. Below them, the mood shifts. Gamblers flash quick hand signals across the aisles. Gangsters watch with flat, unreadable eyes. Tourists raise their cameras. And scattered through the crowd, martial artists from across Asia, pilgrims drawn here by rumor, certain they are about to witness history. At the center of it all stands Nong Mai. They call her the Iron Rose. Beautiful, lethal. 70 professional fights, 70 wins. Not one loss, not one draw, not even one fight seriously contested. She is the undefeated queen of Thai women's Muay Thai, holder of the longest win streak the sport has ever recorded. 5'7", 145 pounds. Every ounce of her trained for violence. 32 opponents knocked out cold. Broken bones. Broken careers. Grown men carried out of the ring in tears. She began at 17, a poor girl from a village outside Chiang Mai. Now she is 25. 8 years undefeated. In all of Thailand, no one can touch her. And honestly, no one wants to try. Tonight is different though. Not a title defense. An exhibition. A message the promoters want to send to the watching world. That Thai women can fight too. That Muay Thai does not belong only to men. That tradition and modern respect can share the same ring. Nong Mai stands at center ring and performs the Y Crew, the ritual dance of respect toward her teachers, her gym, the spirit of the sport itself. 3,000 people fall completely silent. This is not just a fight. This is sacred, and everyone in the building knows it. When the dance ends, she looks up into the stands. 3,000 faces look back, some hungry for violence, some simply curious, some crossing their arms in open doubt. In the front row, Western journalists sit with notebooks open, cameras ready. They've traveled a long way for one answer. Is she real? Or is this just a legend built on hype? Nong Mai doesn't need their answer. She has already proven herself 70 times. Tonight will be number 71. The promoter climbs into the ring. A heavy-set man in an expensive suit already soaked through with sweat from the heat. He raises the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have the privilege of witnessing something special. A pause, built for tension. Nong Mai, our undefeated champion, will choose a volunteer from the audience. Anyone, any size, any background. A murmur rolls through the crowd like a wave. This has never been done. Champions do not fight random strangers. It's too risky, too unpredictable. One lucky punch from an amateur, and a perfect record is gone forever. But this wasn't the promoter's idea. It was Nong Mai's. She demanded it herself. She is tired of hearing that her wins don't count because she fights women. Tired of hearing that any man could beat her. Tired of respect that arrives dressed as an insult. Tonight, she wants to end the argument for good. She steps down from the ring and begins walking through the crowd. The effect is immediate. People shrink back. Heads drop. No one wants to be chosen. No one wants to become win number 71. She walks slowly, reading faces, reading posture, trusting instinct more than logic. Section by section, nothing catches her eye, until she reaches a row filled with martial artists. Serious men. Fighters who came here to study, not just to watch. And there, in row 12, sits a small man. Asian, likely Chinese. Plain dark clothes. Silent. Not drinking, not talking, not performing for anyone. Just watching. Calm. Present. Different from everyone around him. Nong Mai raises her arm and points directly at him. You. Come down. The crowd turns toward him as one. He doesn't move right away. Doesn't look surprised. He simply sits there, absorbing what just happened. The man beside him leans in, alarmed. You don't have to do this. The chosen man shakes his head slightly. His voice is quiet, certain. It's all right. He stands. Now the crowd can see him clearly. Maybe 5'7", 140 pounds. Lean, almost fragile, beside the Thai fighters around him. No training gear, no wrapped hands, no fighting stance. He looks, if anything, like a man on his way to a business meeting who took a wrong turn. The reaction is instant. Confusion first, then laughter. That's the volunteer. That small man is who the 70-fight champion chose. Jokes fly in Thai. Fingers point. A few people almost feel sorry for him. Poor guy. About to be taken apart in front of 3,000 people and a wall of cameras. In the front row, the Western journalists are thrilled. This writes itself. An undefeated champion about to demolish a random man pulled from the crowd. But Nong Mai doesn't understand the laughter. She doesn't speak English. She doesn't get the joke. She only knows she chose at random. And in Muay Thai, size is not everything. Technique matters. Heart matters. The man makes his way down through the bleachers, unhurried, unbothered. With every step, the laughter grows louder. Someone shouts in Thai, "Run! You can still leave!" He doesn't answer. Doesn't even glance up. He walks straight toward the ring. The promoter leans toward Nong Mai, worried now. Are you sure? He looks too small. Too weak. This might not make for much of a show. Nong Mai shrugs. I chose at random. He volunteered. We continue. The promoter switches to English for the foreign cameras. Ladies and gentlemen, our volunteer. Please, sir, step into the ring. The man climbs the steps calmly, slips through the ropes, and stands beneath the stadium lights. Dark trousers. A plain dark button-up shirt. Everyday clothes. He looks entirely out of place, dressed for a meeting, not a fight. The promoter raises the microphone toward him. Sir, what is your name? He takes it. His voice is low, steady, lightly accented. Bruce Lee. Nothing. The name means nothing to this crowd. Not to the Thai spectators, not to the journalists, just another foreign name. Do you have fighting experience, Mr. Lee? Some. What style do you practice? Chinese martial arts, Wing Chun, and my own system. The promoter raises an eyebrow. Your own system? Jeet Kune Do. No one in the building has ever heard the name. It sounds made up. The laughter returns, sharper now. Not only is he small, he practices a style nobody's ever heard of. This just got better. The promoter looks to Nong Mai. She nods. Ready. She wants to begin. Wants to end this quickly. Add one more win. 70 becomes 71. Prove, once more, exactly who owns this ring. This will be a light demonstration only, the promoter announces. 1 3-minute round. No attempts at a knockout. We are here to show technique, not to cause harm. Both fighters nod. The crowd settles. Cameras ready. This should be entertaining. Watching a 70-fight champion take apart a man chosen at random. Worth the price of admission, easily. The referee, a Thai veteran with a face weathered by years at ringside, calls them to the center. Rules first in Thai, then in broken English for Bruce. Light contact. Demonstration only. No killing, no breaking. A pause. Understood? Nong Mai looks into Bruce Lee's eyes and notices something she can't quite name. Not fear. Not tension. Not nerves. Something else entirely. Stillness. Focus. A total, quiet clarity. It's strange. Almost everyone who has ever stood across from her shows something. Anxiety, aggression, doubt, some flicker of a fight already happening inside themselves before the bell even rings. This man shows nothing. He is simply present. They return to their corners. The bell rings. Nong Mai moves first, settling into the classic Muay Thai stance. Weight on the back leg, hands high, elbows tucked, ready to check a kick or answer a strike. 70 fights have shaped every motion in her body. She throws a feeler jab just to test his reaction. Bruce doesn't move, doesn't flinch, doesn't block. He simply watches. She throws a real jab now. Fast, sharp, precise. Bruce tilts his head a few inches. The punch cuts through empty air. The crowd murmurs. Luck. It had to be luck. Nong Mai fires her signature combination. Jab, cross, low kick. The sequence her body has repeated thousands of times in the gym. But Bruce is already gone. A small shift. Nothing wasted, nothing tense, as if his body had simply followed some invisible current. The kick lands on nothing but air. Bruce Lee always said fighting was never about power. It was about economy of motion. Move only as much as necessary. Waste nothing. Be direct. Be simple. Be like water. Nong Mai resets, unsettled. This man moves differently. Not Muay Thai footwork. Not Western boxing either. Something more fluid, more adaptable, harder to read. She presses harder, driving a knee into his body. Bruce's hand drops and meets it mid-air, not blocking it, not striking it, just redirecting it. A small change of angle, just enough to strip away its power. Nong Mai feels it instantly. That wasn't a block. That was control. Something she has never felt before. She throws an elbow, one of Muay Thai's most dangerous weapons, the kind of strike that opens cuts and ends fights outright. Bruce slips it, steps inside her range, too close now for her to generate any real force, and taps her shoulder, light, almost gentle, before stepping back out again. The message is unmistakable. He could have struck. He chose not to. The crowd begins to quiet down. This isn't what anyone expected. The small man isn't being taken apart. He isn't even being touched. Nong Mai understands now. This man truly knows how to fight. This wasn't luck. It's skill, and not ordinary skill. Something deeper. She decides to test him with everything she has. The flying knee that has ended 20 of her 70 fights. Explosive, closing distance in an instant. Bruce sees it coming. He doesn't retreat. He steps just off the line, meets the knee midair with his hand, redirects it. Nong Mai lands slightly off balance, just for a moment, but a moment is all it would take. Bruce could sweep her, could strike, could end it right there. He does nothing. He simply resets, waits. Now Nong Mai understands completely. This man isn't trying to beat her. He's showing her something. Showing her that he can touch her whenever he wants. That he can control the exchange. That he could hurt her and is choosing not to. That isn't arrogance. That is mastery. It's the very principle Bruce always repeated. Real skill isn't about destruction. It's about control. But Nong Mai's pride still burns. 70 wins weren't built by backing down. She attacks with everything. Punches, kicks, knees, elbows, every combination that built her legend. Bruce moves through all of it like water, flowing, redirecting, never crashing against force with force, only guiding each attack a few inches wide of its mark, using her own momentum against her, making her miss by fractions of an inch. 3,000 people now watch in complete silence. They came to see their champion destroy a stranger. Instead, they are watching a small man make the champion look ordinary. 90 seconds in, Bruce decides to end it. Nong Mai throws one more flying knee. Everything behind it now. All her power. All her pride. This time, Bruce doesn't evade. He steps into the attack. His left hand controls the knee. His right hand rises and stops 1 inch from her throat. Perfectly aligned. Perfectly controlled. A strike that could have ended the fight instantly. The referee sees it immediately and steps between them. That's it. Demonstration's over. Bruce lowers his hand, steps back, and bows respectfully. Nong Mai stays where she is, breathing hard, sweat on her brow, confusion in her eyes. 90 seconds, and she never landed a clean strike. Never touched him. Never controlled a single exchange. And in the end, his hand was at her throat. He could have knocked her out. Could have ended her 70-fight streak right there. He chose something else instead. Respect. Control. Restraint. The arena falls into a deep silence. No one knows how to react. Their champion didn't lose. But she clearly wasn't the better fighter tonight. Someone just showed them there is a level above this. The promoter climbs back into the ring, visibly rattled. This was not the plan. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just witnessed a very interesting demonstration. 2 different styles, 2 different approaches to combat. Thank you to both fighters. The applause is thin, uncertain. The crowd is still trying to understand what it just saw. Nong Mai walks over to Bruce and bows deeply, a bow of genuine respect. He returns it. She speaks in Thai. The promoter translates. Who are you? What style is that? Where did you learn it? Bruce answers simply. I study martial arts. I've studied many styles. I try to understand what works and let go of what doesn't. No mention of titles. No talk of records. Just understanding. Nong Mai listens, then asks another question. The promoter translates. She says you could have beaten her. Why didn't you? Because this was a demonstration, Bruce answers. Not a fight. I have no wish to hurt her or her reputation. She is clearly a great champion. As the words reach her, something in Nong Mai's expression shifts. The challenge drains out of her eyes, replaced by something closer to respect. She extends her hand, a Western gesture. Bruce takes it. They shake hands in silence, respect between fighters. For a moment, the entire stadium seems to hold its breath. Then the applause returns, not for a win, not for a loss, but for something rarer inside a ring. Respect, sportsmanship, skill without ego. Bruce steps down and returns to his seat. Around him, the questions start. Who was that? Where did he come from? What style was that? No one has answers. The man beside him, the one who tried to stop him earlier, leans in. That was incredible, but you just embarrassed the national champion of Thailand, in her own country. Maybe we should go. Bruce shakes his head. I didn't embarrass her. I showed her respect. There's a difference. The crowd might not see it that way. Bruce glances toward the ring. Then the crowd needs to learn how to look. They stay until the last fight of the night ends. No one approaches. No one bothers them. But many watch. Many remember. As the crowd begins to thin, a small group of young Thai fighters approaches. Students from different gyms around the city. They bow respectfully. One of them speaks in careful English. Master, we saw what you did. It was incredible. Can you teach us that style? Bruce is quiet for a moment. I'm only in Bangkok for 3 days. I came here for a film meeting. But tomorrow, if you'd like, I can show you a few principles. A pause. Not a full system, just ideas. The next morning, 20 fighters gather at a small gym on the edge of the city. Bruce spends 4 hours with them. He doesn't teach complicated techniques. He teaches principles, Wing Chun drills, ideas from Jeet Kune Do, the belief that the style itself never matters as much as effectiveness. Adaptability, the ability to change, to flow, to be like water. Among those 20 young fighters is one who, years later, becomes one of the most respected trainers in Thailand. For decades, he tells this story. The day Bruce Lee came to Bangkok. The day he made Nong Mai, the undefeated 70-fight champion, look human. The day he proved that martial arts stand above styles, above borders, above pride. Nong Mai keeps fighting. She wins 15 more bouts, retires with 85 straight victories, forever undefeated, forever champion. But she never forgets that night in February 1971. Never forgets the small man who could have ended her streak, and didn't. Who could have humiliated her, and chose respect instead. Years later, when she becomes a trainer herself, she tells her students the story. He was smaller than me, she says. Lighter than me. He had less Muay Thai experience than I did. A pause. But he understood fighting on a level I didn't understand yet. Her students listen in silence. He taught me something important, she adds. Technique without philosophy is empty. Strength without wisdom is worth nothing. Then, finally, winning was never about destroying your opponent. It's about understanding the fight so completely that you no longer need to destroy anyone. The Western journalists who were there that night write their stories, but they miss the point entirely. They frame it as East versus West, a random volunteer against a champion. They miss the actual lesson. But the 20 young Thai fighters who trained with Bruce the next morning understood it perfectly. They told the story differently. The day Bruce Lee came to Bangkok, he accepted a fight he never sought, won a fight he never finished, and taught a lesson that true mastery was never about victory. It was about understanding. February 1971. Lumpinee Stadium. 3,000 witnesses. An undefeated champion. A volunteer who changed everything. It wasn't a victory, it was a lesson. The moment martial arts stopped being only about combat and became philosophy. Over the years, the story changed in the retelling. Some say Bruce knocked her out cold. Others claim he fought 10 men at once. Someone even invented a version where the Thai army tried to arrest him. None of it happened. The truth was simpler and far more powerful. A champion met someone better than her, and instead of being destroyed, she was taught. Instead of being humiliated, she was elevated. Instead of conquest, she was shown respect. That is the real story. Not the one the papers printed. Not the one that hardened into legend. The real one. Bruce Lee in Bangkok. 70 fights. One demonstration. Lessons that never end. The man seated beside Bruce that night, the one who whispered warnings, had traveled with him to Bangkok for film business. He watched everything unfold with a mixture of pride and concern. Walking the wet streets afterward, he finally spoke. "You know they'll talk about this for years." Bruce shrugged. "Let them. You could have said no. Could have stayed in your seat." "She chose me at random," Bruce answered evenly. "I honored the choice. You made a 70-fight champion look like a beginner." Bruce shook his head. "I only showed her a different approach." His friend smiled. Arguing philosophy with Bruce was always a losing game. They walked in silence a while before the question finally came. What if she'd been better? What if she had actually hit you? Bruce stopped and looked at him. Then I would have learned something. That's it. That's why we accept challenges. Not to prove we're better. To find out what we still don't know. His friend thought this over, then asked, "So what did you learn tonight?" Bruce answered without hesitation. That Muay Thai is powerful. Genuinely effective. A pause. That she is a real champion. 70 wins means something real. Then quietly. And that respect matters more than domination. Always. They kept walking. Bangkok's neon lights shimmered across the wet pavement. That night, back at the hotel, Bruce couldn't sleep. He sat by the window, watching the city glow beneath him. His friend woke and found him there. "Can't sleep? I'm thinking about the demonstration," Bruce said. "About what I didn't do." His friend sat beside him. "What do you mean?" "I could have hit her for real. Shown everyone what an actual strike looks like." "But you didn't." "Because that would have been for my ego. Not for the art." "So you held back. For her?" "I held back for everyone," Bruce said. "For the art. For what it's supposed to mean." His friend was quiet for a moment. "No one will ever know that." Bruce allowed a small smile. "That's fine." He looked back out at the city lights. "The right people will understand." "And everyone else?" Bruce answered calmly, watching the glow of Bangkok stretch out below him. "Everyone else doesn't matter."